College Football Update. It's with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
Is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And it's Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, but we're here. We got to talk some college football because it's college football update, and we're back. And you know, if I'm here, you know I got to be with my guy, Maize and Blues finest himself, Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. Always excited to talk college ball. Excited to see little brother back in his place. Paul Bunyan staying in Ann Arbor. So it was a glorious weekend. And now there was some bad news coming out of Ann Arbor, some bad rumors, but overall things are pretty good for the Maize and Blue right now.
Oh yeah. And look, I as somebody that has spent years watching that game, I watched it. It looked close to a point. You know,
yep.
The refs. You know, maybe they were a little envelope at one point.
They were heavily leaning us. I'm not even gonna deny that. The reffing was atrocious.
You know, I may or may not gotten to a little verbal thing with one of your fellow Michigan fans on that one play that they said was offsides, and I looked for the naked eye, it looked offsides, so I'll give the benefit of the doubt on that. But with the result of the play, with the fumble and the change of possession, and then you have Haynes scoring on the next play when they reversed the call, I definitely stood my ground on that. I died on that hill, but at the end of the day, I mean, you saw the difference.
And to me, when you sent the slowed down version of it, it was one of those ones that pretty much no matter how they called it, I would have been like, yeah, okay. Like,
yeah, right.
It was either such perfect timing or just barely offside. It's so hard to tell. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was. There was part of me that felt bad for them, just how bad the refs were dogging them. But then it was just like, no, they can have it. They can deal with it.
The same way I would have felt about Duke. It's like, no, I don't care. I know that's wrong, but I don't care. And look, exactly. I got to be honest. Like, even still, you still got to play defense. And I know the first touchdown, they ran like a QB sweep around the left side, and the blocking was just perfect. It was a wall, and you see Bryce just running up. I was like, well, you can't stop that. I mean, that was a great play. And even the one to Hayes a couple plays later, when they got around the edge, there was nobody there. I mean, they were able to seal it off, and it looked great. So,
yeah,
shout out to it. And our buddy is in the comments, Will Kramer, saying, go Who's. Listen, Will, listen, okay? This close. My Tar Heels came this close.
That was a really good game. I will say that was a really good game. And if I was a North Carolina fan, I'd take that as like, okay, we're building. Like that was a step in the right direction. Being able to go toe to toe with a top 25 team and take them to overtime. And you guys took your shot. You went for the win. Went for that 2-point conversion, and it came up short. It is what it is. Like, but no, it absolutely a step in the right direction.
I absolutely coming from all of the stuff we dealt with in the first 5 weeks, obviously getting crushed by UCF, TCU, you know, a lot of these teams, they manhandles, it looked ugly. You know where I stood. Shout out to Jim Jones, who's in the comments, who's been telling me it's going to be like that this year. You know, it's going to be like that. We're going to talk about you. We're talking to you, my guy, because I know you're dealing with some stuff right now.
Yeah, you got some stuff to say, I bet, tonight, Jim.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, honestly, playing Cal, only losing by 3 in that game on a Cal team that we're very high on with their freshman quarterback. And then coming into this game, we know how good UVA is. And to play the way we did, and when he went for 2, no hesitation, you know I've been hard on Bill Belichick all year, but that was a moment that I said, all right, I'm leaning towards your side on this one. You're going for it all. You're going for the gusto. We're taking it. We're going to go for that win. And I don't necessarily like the play call, but it was inches away. So, hey, That's where we're at, and like you said, we're trending in the right direction. I like that.
I was gonna say, as somebody that just watched the Lions go through this same kind of thing when Campbell took over, it's a step in the right direction.
Yes. See, the problem is, and the thing that I'm dealing with, and if any of you watch the Let's Talk Football, you know, Washington did the opposite. Last year was supposed to be our year where we struggled. This year was supposed to be the year where we took off. But last year we have all that success. And now this year it's kind of like, now it's the growing pain. So, me. Football, man, it's gonna have me. And I wouldn't want it any other way. All right?
Oh, exactly.
Yo, so real quick, we got to go into some college football. Didn't want to shout out Janae, her wife, Sarah. Her birthday is today. Wanted to say happy birthday from Let's Talk Football community. It wasn't for you, Sarah, I wouldn't have been able to have Janae talking back and forth for 8+ years. And obviously you support everything we do. So definitely want to take a minute to shout you out. Happy birthday. Go Commanders. We know you're a diehard Commanders fan. It's hard living in that household, but I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's get into this. Oh, Jim Jones, what up, man? He said, I got lots to say. And yes, UNC, hell of a freaking game. Oh, my goodness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Who we got? UNC has approved right now. They're beating Winston-Salem. So far tonight. Hey, listen. We could beat them. All right. Actually, Winston-Salem State's been playing pretty good this year, so we'll see. But look, let's go ahead and get into it. We always start off talking about that AP poll. How has it changed? How is it? Is it the same? What's going on? We're going to take a look at it right here. Obviously, Ohio State at number 1, Indiana at 2, A&M at 3, and then you have Bama and Georgia rounding out the top 5. Oregon, Ole Miss, Georgia Tech at 8, Vandy inside the top 10 at 9, and then Miami at 10. BYU. So Miami and BYU are tied.
Yep, they got the exact same number of points there. So there was one where somebody had them ranked higher, and then somebody in the other one had BYU ranked higher, and so they ended up with a tie. So technically, there is no 11; there is 2 10s.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I want to see if that's happened before. I love that. So Miami and BYU tied there. You got at 12, Notre Dame, Texas Tech at 13, who I think I was talking to you about it. They lose their backup quarterback now.
Yeah, so it sounds like Baron Morton's just about back, if not fully back. But Will Hammond, the backup that had been playing in place of Morton, tore his ACL this past week. He is done for the rest of the season. So hopefully for them, they can get Morton back because as it stands now, they don't control their destiny to get to the Big 12 championship game. So with that loss to Arizona State, both Cincinnati and BYU are still undefeated in conference. So they need some help here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And with the season that they've been having, you would hate to see it derailed by an injury. But, I mean, these are the type of things that happen. Let's see. Hopefully that quarterback will get back. At 14, you have Tennessee. At 15, you have UVA. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later because they barely got by us. So maybe they need to go down. But we're going to go into that. Louisville at 16, Cincinnati, OU, Missouri, and Texas at 20. You guys at 21, Houston, USC, Utah, and Memphis round out the top 25. And I mean, listen, there was movement here and there. For the most part, the top squad stayed fairly the same. We talk about this every week. Anything stand out to you? Obviously, we had that tie at 10. Notre Dame still at 12, UVA up at 15. Like anything stand out to you this week?
Not really. I think to me, 14 through 25 are all pretty similar. You could kind of jumble that up however you wanted, and I wouldn't really disagree. Now we'll see with Missouri. Bo Pribula, if I'm not mistaken, broke his leg on Saturday. He was very severely injured, so he's done for the season.
Yeah,
that one looked very ugly. Hopefully he recovers very, very smoothly and quickly and ready to go for next season. But honestly, like Tennessee, Virginia, like none of those teams are where I'm like, oh, they're clearly ahead of the teams behind them.
Right.
So it's hard to say. Like, to me, seeing Purula out, I'm like, should they really be 19? But you can't really judge it until you see the new quarterback play as the starter, the full week of starting reps. So kind of wait and see with this back half of it. But overall, I think the front half from 13 up is almost exactly what it should be. And I think this back half could kind of be jumbled. The one thing I want to throw out here is the teams just outside. A lot of the other teams that got votes that didn't get in, are in that group of 5 section.
Yeah.
Navy's the first team out, then Tulane's right there. You got Washington, Iowa, but then South Florida, San Diego State, then LSU, but then James Madison, North Texas.
Yeah.
It's flooded with those teams that got like a couple votes here and there. A few people thought they should have been like 24, 25. So it's going to be really interesting to see, especially with a lot of these teams kind of cannibalizing each other in their conference play, see how many of these group of 5 teams make a run at that auto bid spot, where it seemed like it was South Florida's right from the start, but then Memphis beating them kind of pushed them out, putting Memphis in the driver's seat for that as of now. But like I said, there's 8-9 teams in the running for that group of 5 auto bid. So I cannot wait to see how that shakes out.
Oh, absolutely, man. And you talked about Memphis coming back in there. They were knocked out at one point when they were undefeated. Now, that back and forth. But then on the flip, you talked about the cannibalization. Vandy plays Texas this week, don't they? So they're going to –
and they still play Tennessee and like –
exactly. So none of these are set. We know that they're going to flip-flop. Georgia, y'all might need to watch out, because even though the train is off the tracks, I'm kind of still holding on. If Florida beats you, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Georgia.
I'm going to throw this out there now, like 3-4 weeks in advance. I think Georgia Tech pulls it off. It's at Georgia Tech. I like the Jackets in that one. We remember what happened last year in Athens. It took 8 overtimes, 7, 8 overtimes. And I'm calling my shot now. I like the Yellow Jackets at home against the Bulldogs this year.
I like it. I'm right there with you on that, man. And look, we know that they're thinking about that game, and we also know how hyped they are. They are definitely riding that momentum. And I don't know if you've seen, but a lot of those Georgia Tech fans are starting to crown their king, their Haynes king. Guys, he's that dude, man. He's absolutely that dude. So yes, I'm with you on that. I'll say this again. Having multiple, at least 4 ACC teams in the mix with Louisville, UVA, Miami, and Georgia Tech, like we mentioned, it's a beautiful sight. We already know Big Ten, SEC. Everybody's clamoring about these guys, but when you bring us in there, we play good ball in there. But it's interesting because at the beginning of the season, it was Florida State, it was Clemson. Now the big dogs are out, and you have teams like Virginia, Louisville, Tech, and I love seeing that.
Now, the one interesting thing I forgot to bring up with the Big Ten is every Big Ten team that's ranked there has a shot at the auto bid still.
Ooh.
Because if Michigan beats Ohio State, that essentially knocks Ohio State out of the Big Ten championship game. Because if they have one loss in conference, Michigan has the one loss, Oregon has the one loss, USC has the one loss. SC is actually the team that goes.
Wow.
The way the tiebreakers go, if all those teams end up with the one conference loss, SC and Indiana will play for the Big Ten championship. Ohio State needs to beat Michigan to get the Big Ten championship game. So they'll still get in to the playoff essentially regardless, unless they collapse this last month here. But saw a bunch of tie-breaking scenarios where it doesn't look like Michigan could really get to the Big Ten championship game unless another couple of these teams lose 2 games. And then it would be Michigan over Ohio State to get in and play Indiana. But it was interesting to see that SC, if Michigan beats Ohio State, controls their own destiny to get into that Big Ten championship game and could get that auto bid. So it is still all up for grabs in the Big Ten, even though it kind of seems like Ohio State and Indiana have separated themselves.
Oh yeah, it really is, and let's be wary of that Michigan-Ohio State game because, as we all know, after Ohio State lost last year, they didn't lose again. So
they went scorched earth. Yeah,
right. So if that happens again, I don't want to see a repeat of that. You know what I mean? But you know that it's been a long time. And listen, Ohio State fans, I know you might be mad at me because I keep telling my guy to bring it up. But Alex, go ahead and tell him how many days it's been since Ohio State has been victorious over y'all.
We're at 2,160 days and counting.
Come on now. What you got to say about that? Let's go. So look, yeah, this is where we're at. Jim Jones saying Tech down is mid AF. Are you talking about Georgia Tech or Texas Tech? Who are you talking about, Jim? Let us know, man. But this is up in the air. And look, hey, again, we've mentioned it. They'll cannibalize each other. All this stuff could potentially switch by next week, and it's going to keep going down. But next week, if I'm not mistaken, next week is the first CFP top 25, right?
Yeah, next Tuesday at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right as we typically go live, I believe, is the reveal.
Yes. So definitely stay tuned for that because we got to talk about that. And that's when things really start getting serious. You start understanding what teams need to get there and how this stuff is all going to play out. So that has been the new AP poll. Again, we'll get more into that as the weeks go. Ben Cornett says the Mission beat Ohio State 10-4 over and out. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one because, I mean, as always, we're in their head. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting to see if they're going to finally rely on what their strength is, which is their quarterback, their receivers. That defense is legit. I think unless Ohio State fully leans on that passing attack, I think it's very similar to last year where it's under 30 points in a one-score game.
Yeah.
But there's part of me that thinks now that Brian Hartline's the OC, they're just going to air it out. And then it could get ugly. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that one because it always, the last 4 or 5 years, it's been so close for the majority of the game. There were a couple of years we pulled away late, but it seems like every time until the last few minutes, it's like neck and neck right there. So.
Oh yeah. And hey, obviously for your heart, it's kind of hard to watch because it's like, oh my God. But at the same time, this is what you got to love. This is what you got to love. You got to love that type of football. And listen, and you also got to love that when you pray for something, sometimes those prayers come true. In front of a brick wall, in front of touchdown, Jesus, our guy has returned. E.K. Holiday. What up, Eric?
Ain't nobody praying for this.
We praying for it, man. Come on, we missed you, buddy. What's up?
Hey, man, just hopping in. I haven't gotten to keep up with where all y'all's terrible takes are at so far tonight, but I'm sure you'll expedite the process of catching me up.
Realistically,
Florida's still in. All right.
The one thing I did say that seemed kind of surprising is the Big Ten is still totally up for grabs as far as the conference championship game. Yep. If Michigan beats Ohio State, they essentially don't have a way into the Big Ten title game because of tiebreakers. Mm-hmm. If all these teams, Oregon, Michigan, USC, they all have the one loss and then Indiana still runs the table, it is actually USC that has the tiebreaker and would go face Indiana.
That's wild.
So Ohio State does need to beat Michigan to get in, unless USC and Oregon both lose another game here.
Well, I'm hoping that Michigan is sharpening their skills.
I hope so.
Because do theory is really knocking hard.
Yeah. It really, really is. I've been trying to mentally just push it away.
Oh man, yo. Jim Jones says Texas Tech. Yeah, hey, well, they might get their quarterback back.
They got a big game this week, right? Aren't they playing Texas
Who
Tech?
do they play this?
It's a big game. It's Is it BYU?
Do they play this week? I know Arizona State was last week.
It might be
Kansas State.
Okay.
Okay.
At Kansas State, but this is a different Kansas State team, a resurgent team that's actually been getting some dubs as of late. But yeah, we'll see if that starter's back. If he's not, it could be interesting.
Lots of dreams have died in Manhattan, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Look, let's get into it. And I mean, when I said prayed, it's because the timing could not have been any better. The coaching carousel, ladies and gentlemen, something we've been talking about a lot. Something we normally just kind of reference early in the season and think we're going to wait to the end of the season and still until things change up. Not this year, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. 12 head coaches have been fired thus far in 2025. 10 of them in the season, 2 right before the season. And
high-profile jobs.
Yes. This is crazy. And I want to stay right here because this is the most coaches since the FBS era started in 1978. This is the most coaches to have been fired before November. I mean, Eric, you just got here. What can we attribute this to? Like, what is happening?
Well, you know what's interesting? I think I put something right after James Franklin got fired. I think I put something in the chat that a few of us are in where it was like, oh, this could mean big things are happening now. Because when a coach who's been winning 10, 11 games yearly just got $50 million to go away in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
After 2 bad losses. And that's not necessarily a school that we think that I'll speak for us and you can tell me if I'm wrong. But this is for a school that I think should be a contender 1 out of every 3 to 4 years. It's not a school that I think should ultimately believe that they are a contender year in and year out.
Yeah.
So if that's happening at that school, the rest of the college football world just kind of got put on notice. It's just like quarterback deals in the NFL. Like, Brock Purdy just got what he got, right? Now the next guy's going to get what he gets no matter what. So it doesn't matter. So the mentality now is, you don't win and you're out. And that's going to hurt some programs really badly. That are in decent places at the moment. But yeah, I guess it's all this influx of money and outside influence that is hitting hard with the game right now. And not to jump off topic, maybe you guys talked about it, but the headline I read is LSU AD won't pick the next head coach from the governor of the state. Like,
at the same time, he's
the same
Brian Kelly
Jimbo
here,
guy.
and the Jimbo, So he's cost LSU and Texas A&M a combined $130 million for 2 guys just to go away.
Yeah, absolutely. But still,
so he should not get to pick the coach. He shouldn't have the job. But
he absolutely shouldn't. But this just tells you the outside influences over the sport when the governor of a state with plenty of problems of its own right is talking about what's going to happen with the head football coach of their prize program.
Right. Well, they had a stat that came out that said you're giving your coach, you're firing your head coach, giving him $50 million, and then 23% of Louisiana lives in poverty. It's like you could have easily reallocated that money and given it somewhere else. But I mean, this is unfortunately this is where we're at right now. And you alluded to it, and Nate did too. One of the reasons why, and I'll come to you, Alex. One of the reasons why this stuff is happening is because teams aren't afraid of these major buyouts like they used to be. When Jimbo, when he got bought out, Ed Ogeron, everybody was, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Look at all this money. But now you're seeing guys getting bought out left and right. I mean, the money is just flowing. Is this good for college? Or, I mean, what does it do for expectations on a team?
I think a big reason why there's so many right now is because of the programs that are doing it. Penn State, LSU, Florida. These are teams that want to be in that playoff contention and that national title contention.
Yep.
So you can't be sitting there in January being like, you know what? I think we need to go in another direction. You need to go now because early signing days, early December. And then you've got transfer portal right after the national championship in January. You need to have a guy in place ready to go now. You need to be on track to get this guy in December and get rolling right away. Because, I mean, we've already seen the influx of recruits leave Penn State and LSU right off the bat. We had probably 15 guys from Penn State in the first 48 hours that were either fully decommitting or reopening recruitment. So you need to get guys, need to have plans in place at the very least to get these guys right away. So I'd imagine you're going to get guys that are pretty comfortable with these spots. Two guys I'm looking at, Penn State is Manny Diaz, Duke, their former defensive coordinator. See if you can maybe get him to come back. And for LSU, one name that I'm seeing come up a lot more lately is from the NFL coming back to LSU, Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator from when Burrow and Chase and Jefferson and all those guys were there, that historic 2019 season. There's a lot of noise I'm hearing now about Brady coming and being the head coach because he's getting head coaching looks in the NFL. So maybe LSU just jumps at it and says, come be our guy and see if we can get rolling.
Can I tack one thing onto here for you?
Oh, yeah.
We need to be very, very honest about something. The reason this is happening is because the same people who are funding the coffers for the players are the ones who are stroking the check to say, hey, I'm not happy with the result we're getting.
Yep.
I'm giving my money to this program and we're losing.
Yeah.
So we have unofficial Jerry Joneses around all of college football.
Yeah.
Because LSU does not fire Brian Kelly if they do not have a way to stroke that check. The state couldn't afford to fire him. The school couldn't afford to fire him. If
I'm not mistaken,
it's an individual donor. Individual
one guy.
donor.
I was like, I'll pay it. Let's go. Get him out. Like,
wow.
So, I mean, if I'm telling you, hey, I'm going to cut off the water to your program, if you don't get rid of this guy,
you're getting rid of him. Like,
there it is. And and they've taken over. And we've seen, look, when high expectations meet low patience, and you have guys that have the money to buy it out, then it's not as much a question as it is, I'll give you till this week. I'll give you till that week. And if you have, we saw with James Franklin, 3 straight losses in a row. Now, mind you, I think we need to add the context to who they lost to. A team that had not been leading at any point in the season in UCLA that just fired their head coach, and then a Northwestern team that has annually been the doormat in the Big Ten. Both of those teams get wins over a team that's supposed to be in the playoffs, and you see that. And then obviously with LSU, let's talk about your guy, Brian Kelly, out at LSU. Obviously the buyout, obviously all the stuff, and talking about recruits. There was a guy that actually, I believe, committed to LSU once they found out that Brian Kelly was out of there. So, Eric, as you have, I sent you a video today about
I got a PhD in Brian Kelly. Okay,
right? You know exactly what's going on. So, talk to us, man. We got LSU fans in the comments sitting here, feeling some type of way. Did you see this coming?
I mean, I did not see this turning out to be a successful journey. I don't know that I saw that it would end quite the way that it has, as quickly as it has. I kind of thought that he would bring the floor back up for LSU. I didn't think they were going to win a national championship by any stretch, but I thought that, all right, they're going to become a bit more stable. The 11 wins to drop to 7 wins type of thing isn't going to happen. But you kind of also know the writings on the wall that, like, LSU is not a place that takes things lightly. They fired Orgeron a year after winning a national championship.
Was it the last 3 head coaches all won a national title within their first 4 years at LSU?
Yeah, and that becomes an expectation. But when you fire someone that quick, they didn't fire Ed for all the off the field stuff. They fired Ed because he wasn't winning football games. So it's not very surprising. I think we all knew from the family moment when Brian Kelly took the job that like culture fit. It doesn't make sense. He's not a dog on the recruiting trail whatsoever. He has never been. I got lots of fun stories we can go through another day about him and recruits. So it's not surprising, but maybe it surprised me a little how quick it happened, and that I would say that the floor didn't get raised in his time there.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You had, like I said, Saban had an SEC title and won a natty. Les Miles, SEC title, wins a natty. Ogeron, SEC title, wins a natty. And even though Brian Kelly was 34-14 through his years, didn't have that SEC title, obviously didn't have the natty. But I think something that was more telling, and in an era where coaches are really we really get on these coaches for how they react towards players. There are so many videos that have come out and shown how Brian Kelly just is incredibly disrespectful to some of those players and gets on them and jumps down their throat. Jim Jones, obviously our LSU guy, I didn't see it coming, but I'm glad it happened. We have an elite team with a coaching staff that is mid as F. And I mean, there it is. I mean, talk to me, Alex. You know, it was a big move for him to go from Notre Dame to LSU. All these expectations. What do you think,
Alex? Before you go, just add this point onto there. When he left Notre Dame, he left because he had a better chance of winning a national championship. They had better support, and they had better resources. These are the things he said. So he put the target on his own back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to throw that in there. That
then these are the things. And everything.
These are the things that he told the LSU base. That a team that has been consistently like in the hunt for the last decade. That you have everything better than this other program. That's why I'm coming to you, because we can do this thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at just Brian Kelly in general. I mean, you bring up him leaving. You saw how excited the Notre Dame players were to find out Marcus Freeman was their coach. So I was like, it was almost like, okay, bye. Like we'll take Freeman now. Like, thank you. And then over the last few days, hearing alumni talk about how they didn't feel welcome back, whether it was game day, whether it was in the off season during workouts, that they didn't feel welcome at all. They didn't want to be there. And you said all the videos of all the players getting chewed out, and you can read the words, and it is not the way a coach should really be talking to some of these kids. It was doomed from the start. To me, it was almost like Jim Harbaugh trying to coach the SEC. It's stylistically, it was not a fit. It's Brian Kelly's a Midwestern Northern type football guy. He's more physical. He's more the SEC. You've got the finesse. You've got the passing game. You've got all that. That's not Brian Kelly. That's not his style. And then he tried to be something he wasn't. Whether it was the family quote, whether it was the videos of him dancing with the recruits, and it's what are we doing here?
Yeah, not authentic. And he's known for being a politician. The interesting things are the same thing. Was a theme when he was at Notre Dame, that like there were so many alums that were not part of the program because they were not welcomed to be a regular part of the program, which has changed drastically over the last 4 years. This isn't bashing, because I think we could go on a tangent about how much I appreciate what he did for the Notre Dame football program. So, but it's just it did not seem like it was the right move from the jump for him. So we didn't want to fire him, but we know that we were happy when he decided to take the next job.
Well, and Kelly's a hell of a coach. He's just it's in the right spot. Like he's a top 15 coach in college football. It's just when he's in the right spot.
And I can write his post-game loss script from like years and years of experience, and it's the same exact one that he gives at LSU. So it doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, I mean, but he's happy. Look, we're all talking about this dude got fired, but
he collected.
He's getting paid $750,000 a month to do nothing.
Oh, he's playing. He's probably playing less golf now than when he was the coach at LSU.
He's chilling. That's what it is. And look, as if he did hear his ears twitching because we were talking about coach firings. Our guy, Will Kramer, has entered the building. Will, 12 coaches out in 2025, 10 in the season. Obviously, Brian Kelly's out here. For those of you who don't know, we got a group chat with the four of us. And Will has just been clamoring, telling like, this coach is gone. That coach
is gone. Head coaches right now.
That's why I'm wearing I fire a coach every single week. Absolutely.
At least one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the over is above 2.
Yeah. So, Will, when you think about this, what do you think about the Brian Kelly and just the overall landscape of college football with all the coaches?
Yeah. I mean, I echo kind of exactly what Anthony was saying on their podcast last night, where it's like it was never a fit from the beginning. It just felt awkward and like a forced marriage. But to what you guys saying, I mean, he is going to make you a top 15 program, absolutely. So he has a chance to go somewhere else and be very successful. I'm just a big fan of all the firings right now. Like it sounds horrible to say because like you're uprooting all these families, but my thing is just like we have put all these put all this pressure on these players, but then here these coaches just get passes every year and year, and they're making a huge amount of money. And if you're going to get $10 million a year plus, and our expectation is you're going to take us to the playoffs or you're going to take us to a championship, and you can't do that, go. It's called accountability.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good gracious. Yeah.
See, I bet you
in the NFL, we want to keep those guys.
I'm guessing LSU. I'm guessing LSU is going to give somebody more money than they just gave Brian Kelly. I'm thinking they're going to be like, "We'll give you 15 a year. Come right now."
Yeah.
What was it on the college football chat where I saw something? So I don't know where I got it from. Where they said they are going to start making. They're going to take out the buyouts in the future, but have higher salaries. We will give you $150 million over 5 years, with the idea that if they were to fire them, it's more of you're firing as an at-will employee. So they can make more money per season, but the school does not have this hook that they have to be.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if there's merit to it, but that was kind of like what someone had said. This is the future of coaching contracts.
I can see schools pushing for that. I don't know if the coaches will.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're the in-demand coach, you kind of get to dictate what you want. So that's the interesting thing. But maybe at like some of those middler tier, like it makes sense. But when you are the hot guy on the market, you're gonna get whatever you want.
You're the guys like Lane Kiffin this offseason. I think he's gonna be wine and dine by every team available.
Well, I mean, we don't even have to go much farther than Notre Dame. I mean, how many people have been after Marcus Freeman over the last couple of weeks?
We've heard the top 2 jobs already that were there before LSU.
Right.
He's taking the Virginia job. It's all right.
Move on.
What's that?
He's taking the Virginia Tech job.
The only way he's going to leave is if Ohio State was to come open. That would be the only job he'd sniff at.
What's the connection there? Is that where he went?
He played at Ohio State,
Yeah, gotcha. He was Jim Tressel, his mentor. He's very close with.
Gotcha.
So he's from Ohio originally. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Now, Will, since you're here and we gave you your entrance because You are the Grim Reaper when it comes to these coaches. We've seen 12 and 10 in season already get fired. You always hit us up with who's on the hot seat. Who are you considering as to be one of the next couple coaches that is on their way out?
Let's see. I mean, the easy one, but I think it'll be at the end of the season, will be Mike Norvell. Florida State, they have to move on from him. I'm trying to think.
What about this guy in Auburn?
Yes.
Freeze?
Yes.
Hugh Freeze,
who is it? Is it Hugh Freeze right now? So is it Brian Harsin? Is it Hugh Freeze? Yeah. Would they go in season this early? I'm not sure.
Probably.
But I mean, he's got to be gone.
Is this year 3 for you?
What's that?
Is it year 3 for Freeze?
Year 3.
Yeah,
that makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance a little bit.
Will, what about one of your other teams we've been talking about last couple of weeks? Luke Fickell, Wisconsin.
Yes, he should. Yes, I
no
think
hesitation.
You have to. I think they will wait to the end of the season. Wisconsin doesn't really seem to be that type of like early on type program. And I don't know who he has as an assistant. Like when Paul Christ left, I think they had Jim Leonard take over for a little.
He should have been the guy.
I know a lot of Badger fans will say that. My family will say that to you, and I was so anti Leonard, just because he was a head coach. I was, but the difference, the reason why like I didn't hesitate is because Fickell came in and tried to run something non-Wisconsin. You guys have read my chat messages, and so I just think you have to. And maybe Fickell is the next guy to go because they're 2-6 right now. If they lose 1 or 2 more games, which they're going to, like eventually you have to say like we're done here. You got to go.
Yeah.
Now,
does he get any slack? Because like if you look at it statistically, they've had one of the top 3 to 5 toughest schedules, just based on the actual strength of schedule metric. Does he get part way into next year based on that, or do you think it's still enough to pull the trigger?
You got to be competitive, and they haven't been competitive.
They haven't been competitive, and not only that,
like, year 2 or year 3 for him.
3. You can make the argument that he gets every year what his quarterback has gotten hurt, and that is not every program is going to have a ready-made backup to come in and take over. And that is a valid argument for him. But to like what Eric's saying is they haven't been competitive, but also he hasn't produced the NFL talent that normally comes out of Wisconsin. You can always count on an offensive lineman, a defensive player of some sort, linebacker, D-line,
front 7, offensive line, a running back. Yeah.
Right. He inherited Braylon Allen, and he actually would have been better without Fickell's offense in there, so he hasn't been producing the NFL talent. So that's where I'm just like, I think you just have to say it didn't work. We tried something new. We gotta reset.
Fair.
Well, absolutely. So I'm going to give you, since we've been talking about high profile coaches, let's throw out a couple of those high profile names. Dabo Swinney, my guy, Bill Belichick. We talked about Mike Norvell of Florida State. Any of those guys do you think potentially gets the axe?
Yeah, Norvell, absolutely.
Yeah, Norvell's gone.
Yeah, Norvell.
Yeah.
They said it without saying it. They said we're waiting until after the
season. Evaluate at the end of the season.
Yeah,
we're saving up the money to kick his ass out. Yeah. Is essentially what they said.
We're reaching out to our donors right now to say who's gonna fund this. Belichick, UNC, I think is.
Yeah,
does he want to? If he wants to stay, I think they're going to stick with him.
Yeah, personally, and how I've been bashing my team all year, but these last 2 games I was telling Alex have definitely looked like an improvement, albeit we didn't win them. We 3-point loss to Cal where we looked a lot better. And then the game came down to the wire against UVA in a game that maybe a lot of people didn't think we should have been in. And I mean, we took it down to the 2-point conversion. I love the call. I was with him. And that kind of gave me a vote of confidence for Bill, where I was like, all right, I'll stick with you. You're at least you're working at it day by day. But I want to go back to that Florida State job because knowing that Norvell potentially is gone. We got our guy Joseph in the comments. Another guy that has taken a number of really bad losses this year including I believe a 53-7 drubbing against Utah. Dion in Colorado. Obviously, a lot of names have tied him to Florida State. Is he on his way out at Colorado? I know this is just his first year without Shador and Travis Hunter, so it should be a grace period. But what do we think?
He's on his way out because he's taking the Florida State job.
I think if he goes somewhere, not because
they're not going to fire him.
Yeah, I don't know that he's getting the Florida State job. It seemed like a given a year ago, but it doesn't feel like that now.
I'm just sticking to my narrative. That's all.
I like it. I like it. I have my Bill Belichick narrative that I'm going to jump into here in a second. But
all right.
The Colorado, they are so, whether or not they are relevant on the football field, for the first time in 30 years, they are relevant in the college football world. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they can give that up right now. And that's not a reason to hold on to a coach, but also it's kind of a reason to hold on to a coach because he's proven that he can turn over a roster every single year, 80 players. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you flip a switch and they could be a absolutely fantastic team next year. That's hard to do, but it could be done. Bill Belichick, he is going to step away in March for some reason. We don't know what that reason will be, so that Steve can get the job to take over, just like my boy Stoops did for Lincoln Riley, just like Urban Meyer did for Ryan Day.
Yep.
Belichick is going to stay long enough that they can't hire another coach, and Steve is going to get the job handed to him.
Nepotism.
Either way, a Belichick will be the head coach.
Here we go.
What has Steve shown? Like the other succession,
but that's why he's doing it.
That you put in place were like
the father son.
You want to know what he's shown? The last name Belichick on his birth certificate. That's what he should.
That's what it is.
And that's why he's going to do the timing just right.
Shout out to Jim Jones. He said, I think management and Bill have an understanding most athletic organizations don't have. They know it's not an overnight success, but Bill will show growth sooner than later, as shown in the UVA game. Look, I've called about
75 transfers.
Right. We talked about turning over rosters, and he even talked about it in an interview today. He said, this is not going to be a process that's going to be overnight. Like Jim is saying, this is going to be a day to day. You work on fundamentals, you execute, you start becoming high level execution at certain fundamentals, at certain things, and you start becoming repetitive, doing it daily. And once you get that going, then you can start building stuff. So we've already seen improvement from that drubbing on Monday night at the beginning of the season to TCU to where we're at now. And for me, it has been really critical of him. I honestly think this is something that's good for us. And to your point, I don't know if they're gonna go to the Sun. I don't want that. But at the same time, we need something, man. We got to figure it out.
The dude is 73 years old. How long is the runway going to be?
As long as he has that young lady on his shoulder, he'll be forever young.
I'm pretty sure that means he's going to go out sooner rather than later.
But she has to have her guys at campus. She has to have her guys. She's not just sticking with this one old dude.
But I guess the thing is, it wasn't a long-term hire to begin with. So I don't know how we can argue that it's about building the program over a duration of time.
My issue with him
building for Steve to take over after.
Well,
that's what
if that happens, we see it. And my thing with him is, we all know that the reason why he came here is because he didn't get a job in the NFL. He wasn't getting another position. So
that's another question: is he getting an NFL job and take off?
Right.
And you have to think he probably would have gotten an NFL job, but he wants the same control he had in New England.
Yes.
And that's why he's at North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, let's go to the other Carolina. Will Beamer. Came into this season with a lot of high expectations. Obviously, they haven't kind of come to fruition. You've tied his name to Virginia Tech, or he said he wants to stay. What are your thoughts about Beamer in South Carolina?
I think both Shane Beamer and Dabo Swinney are in the same situation where their jobs are they're on the hot seat to make a change, not replace them, but to say you need to look at your staff and figure out what needs to fix there. You know, I mean, when Dabo's lost some of his assistants to become head coaches, and his recent rounds of hires have not been good. He had a really bad defensive coordinator for the past couple of years, and he finally replaced him. So I think they both need to take a look at their staffs first before the schools let them go. You know, especially Clemson, they'd be foolish to let Dabo go. But I mean, I do think Shane is feeling the heat. He's getting very testy with the media when they ask him some questions. And so I think the first step there is you're gonna have to replace some of your staff first. And then if you're not willing to do that, then maybe there's a bigger conversation.
And is Virginia Tech an escape hatch for him now? When we thought it was he wouldn't want to leave South Carolina, is it now like a parachute?
Yeah.
I still actually believe him when he says he wants to create his own legacy first, or just in general, that he would just be another Beamer at Virginia Tech. And I think the fact that he's 4 or 5 years into, he's 5 years into South Carolina. I don't know if he would want to leave and do that just yet. I think I kind of believe him on this one.
I do
right
too,
now.
but when the seat gets hot, feelings change.
Yeah.
And the pressure gets up.
Yeah.
Right. So to your point, let's talk about that, because not only coaches have been fired, but also coordinators, not only head coaches but also coordinators, offense, defense, etc. Let's look at if these, we know there are certain schools that are obviously looking to fill a job, and there's also schools that we don't know if they'll be fired, but it's leaning more towards that direction. Who are some of these guys? And I know you guys have talked extensively about it in the group chat. Who are some of these guys that might come in and take some of these roles and could possibly have success?
Let's go around the horn. Give everyone a chance to say one name.
One coordinator to take a head coach job? Is that
a coach goes over, or a coordinator?
I think an interesting one that I think a lot of teams should look at, I don't know if they will, is Brian Hartline at Ohio State. What he's done with that wide receiver room, he's been the wide receiver coach exclusively recruiting at wide receiver. And I mean, look at what they've done there. Not only recruiting, but developing these guys. I think he's a guy that's probably not getting enough love, as much as I hate talking good about a Buckeye. He's a hell of a coach, and please get him away from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Will, what you think?
I think that one of the guys, a current head coach who's going to get a really good job, big promotion, is going to be the head coach of Tulane.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
He's gonna he's gonna be in the running for one of these top jobs, I think.
Mm-hmm. I can see
Absolutely.
that. Okay, where you at, man?
I'm in the boat that I don't see candidate pools as strong as it's been in years past. So the more people that get fired, the more nervous I get for these programs that are out there, because when Penn State fired Franklin, it was like, all right, well, you got the pick of the litter, and now they don't have the pick of the litter.
Right.
So it's just really interesting from that dynamic. I'm a big Jason Candle fan. I think eventually he's going to take a job. The coach from Toledo, I think eventually he's going to get moved up. And I think someone's going to do really well there. But I hate to say retreads, but Franklin's going to be good for someone if he takes a job.
Yes.
Luke Fickell is going to be good for someone if he takes a job. So it's that whole right fit, right place. So unfortunately, while I want to say new sexy candidates, some of these retreads are going to be the most interesting ones. Hartline, I love for the recruiting purposes. Just the name, the cachet he has. I think Patricia is probably going to get an unnecessary look that he hasn't earned. based off of the season he's having at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Alex has felt him lead a program personally before, so he can speak on that. But I think, anytime you're the
Terrible
hot
head coach.
Pencil in the hat. Pencil in the
For a laminated plate
with a
sheet.
laminated. Yeah.
And this guy's supposedly a freaking rocket scientist. So,
but Will has on a hat for a school that all they do is win. So he might have another idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to let that come around, but without a doubt, a school would be very smart, like in NC State when their job comes open. Forgot to mention them, or Virginia Tech. Someone where it's like you're a step up, but not, you're not the Big Ten SEC, championship caliber to go after Bob Chesney at JMU. I mean, the dude has just won at every place that he's been, and he wins quickly. And that's one of those under the radar hires that people wouldn't be totally expected. That I would imagine he'd do very well.
Oh yeah, and I said this in the group chat. I was talking to Alex about this. What he's been able to do this year. I mean, with the only one loss, and they're really going under the radar. But I believe it was like in the last 4 games, the last 4 second halves, they've shut out the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
And they've played truly tough, and I don't think they get talked about nearly enough.
No.
So yeah, definitely shout out to him. Let me ask you guys this: and one of the names that got fired very early in the season, but was long tenure, and many winning seasons. Mike Gundy from OK State. Do you guys think he is just regional, somebody that can have success in like that area, or do you think he's somebody that can take a job and thrives like he did at Oklahoma State?
I think he's a very acquired taste. So
Yeah.
There's a school out there for him, but it's going to be a very particular school.
I could see one of those group of 5 schools that have done very well lately that loses their coach, say like a Tulane, someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see someone like that potentially being like, can we get this guy to kind of help us take that next step? I don't think he's going to a Florida, an LSU. Right. He's not going to a big level school, but I could see one of those like that next step down. I could see him going somewhere in the South and seeing if he can make that work.
Kind of like Dan Mullen to UNLV.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
And that's one of those names you just said. That's one of those names that we should have thrown back right.
He's going to get looks at a ton of jobs. Yeah.
He will. The guy that I think is already doing well, that one of these, big school, whoever loses out on Lane Kiffin should take, I hate that I'm going to say this because he ticks off a lot of people. He's really annoying. But I think Eli Drinkwitz is an excellent head coach.
I'm hearing a ton about his name, about Clark Lee, Alex Golish
that's the easy one.
USF.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The Clark Lee, with my PhD in Brian Kelly, I have a minor in Clark Lee, and I think it's going to be very particular types of programs that could lure Clark Lee away. I think it's his former employer, Notre Dame. I think it's those schools that really do care about academics, because if you ever get to watch interviews of him, he is very particular about how much he loves working with student athletes and how important the academic side of things is to him. And being a Vandy grad, going home to Vandy, I don't think when Florida comes calling with a bag of money, I don't know that entices him.
No, I
that's the culture. No, yeah. Sometimes academics are a part of the equation in the SEC, not the main part of the equation.
Yeah, for Vanderbilt, yeah.
But for Vandy, absolutely. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Just for Vanderbilt, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I went to Shepherd. I can't bang on.
You and me both.
Any great days there. So, real quick, before we wrap this thing up, I'm going back to you, Eric. Like I said before, everybody's coming for your guy. But let us know, is your guy going anywhere, or is Marcus Freeman staying put?
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I don't see Ryan Day going anywhere, so I'm not super worried about that opening up.
Now, if they lose to us again, they finally?
Maybe, but I think he got very comfortable when the seat was getting a little bit hot before last year. There's a lot going on at the program. From what I understand, there's not anything that he's asked for that he's been told no to. And that's very important. We locked him up last year to a longer term deal. The new, $400 million facility that's being built on campus, that here's a real interesting tidbit for you, that Jack Swarbrick refused to sign off on until Brian Kelly was gone. And then as soon as Brian Kelly was gone, he made sure before he left that went through. So that new facilities, like, he's a perfect culture fit. Like, it's hard to see. And he has a really young family. I mean, he has a kid that's going to like Cornell or something now, but he has like kids that are in like young elementary school. He has a big family. So there's a lot of moving parts there that I don't think, he doesn't strike me that he's looking.
No, I was like, I don't see him leaving for a long time. Because even there's a good chance if OSU comes open that they'll just hand it to Harline. Like,
yeah.
Just keep the program continuity. But
and
I think it would be
OSU,
him or Freeman.
OSU is gonna. I mean, Marcus is a hot name right now, but OSU is going to be targeting resumes that have a championship pedigree already.
Yeah.
So it's a hot name, but they have certain expectations. So
yeah, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we have it has been crazy all year long. All these coaches that have been getting fired, let go, hot seats, cold seat, everything, and we're here, and it's not done yet. We're not even in November yet, so who knows? We might see a couple.
Sparty, Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Narduzzi falls
after 2 years. How did they get rid of Jonathan Smith?
They've been terrible. That's how.
Yeah, because they've regressed even worse.
And in this day and age,
they're winless in the Big Ten. They're winless in conference games.
In this day and age, where people want it immediately, you saw it. I had a buddy that didn't even watch the game. That's a Spartans fan, because he's like, I'm not watching until the coach is fired. It just, you expected so much more. I mean, their expectations weren't super high.
I didn't.
You expected more.
Agreed. I didn't.
You know, in-house. I'm talking about in-house. You guys aren't Michigan State.
But they did. Yeah.
They got waxed by UCLA. Right. They got waxed by UCLA. That's
everyone's getting waxed by UCLA. Neuheisel is going to be the head coach at UCLA. I don't even know what
I hope so. I hope they pull the trigger on
Jerry.
I've got
they got Jerry's hair going.
I've got my next narrative. I'm pushing it. It involves the Spartans. Jonathan Smith will get fired. And the coach that they're going to get to try and help build them back up is Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly to Michigan State.
Brian Kelly.
He was the Grand Rapids coach, right?
Yep.
Not Grand Rapids.
Central Michigan,
no,
and then
Central,
it was Grand Valley State.
Grand Valley, that's it. Yes, he's a Midwest guy. Oh, there you go.
But here's the thing. Brian Kelly ain't coaching football again, man.
Ooh.
He's done.
He's done?
Yeah, by choice.
Interesting.
By choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's done.
I can see it.
I mean, he's cashing it. He'll end up on TV somewhere, and he will be a very polarizing figure once he's on TV, because so many people hate him. But you know what? They'll tune in to watch him because they hate him.
I guess I can see that. I was going to say, is he in demand for something like that, to be in media?
Oh, he's very very eloquent. Like, he's
a strong personality. Like that speaks TV like that.
I mean, he wanted to execute our entire team after a game once, and they still let him continue coaching.
And shout out to Jim Jones. He said, I wish Brian Kelly on nobody. He said nobody wants Kelly. He had a championship team and he drove him into the ground.
No. There are 95% of schools would be very happy to have.
And
Brian
that's why
Kelly.
I say Michigan State. They're looking for somebody to build back up.
That's a great connection.
I mean, Saban was there before he went to LSU, and then on
Saban was there before he was Saban. Like
that's true.
I meant to send you guys a screenshot last night that I saw that I knew you would appreciate. The screenshot, I can't remember what year it was, but it was Nick Saban, and he's wearing Sparty, and it has Nick Saban on the hot seat, and then above that, there's a picture of Tom Brady, and it says Tom Brady fighting for his life at Michigan for the job. And this is like an old Sports Illustrated or something like that.
Yes.
And just how mind-bending it is of, that just turned out to be the greatest college football player or coach of all time, and arguably the greatest professional football player of all time. And it wasn't all that long ago in the grand scheme of things that we were looking at them and going, can they do it?
Yeah, fair.
We will see. We will see. But at this point, I guarantee Michigan State fans, they want anything. They want anything better. I know people that are still wishing they had D'Antonio way back when. So, hey, this is where we're at. Ladies and gentlemen, the coaching carousel is nowhere near done. And if our buddy Will has anything to say about it, if our buddy Will has anything to say about it, a bunch of guys will be out. That's right. The over-under for the rest of the season, he said take the over. And
that's how committed he is.
That's right.
To people getting fired.
Just like
I meant to mute myself, and I kicked myself out. Fickle, Dave Dorn are the next two to go before Norvell.
He was going to knock on Fickle's door. That's what he was doing.
Right. Yeah. Just so you know, it's your time. Let's go.
Now, I had to remind my in-laws they can't steal from the boys' college fund to pay off Luke Fickle. I had to remind them that. No early withdrawals here.
There's no.
Let's get into that point.
There's no leader in the cheese industry that can write a check for Luke Fickle to get
Herb Cole.
There we go. Done deal.
Yep.
Sign off.
Brett Bielema going back to Wisconsin. I called it.
You know, I was actually going to bring that up in our chat. Like, no one's talking about Illinois and the season they're supposed to have. Not for firing, but are they still in the top 25?
No, they fell out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what they're doing? Exactly what Wisconsin used to do under Bielema.
Yeah. Build up to the point where there's the high expectations and then crap the bed when they get those expectations.
Alex, I got many things wrong this season, but I just want you to remember, I will always remember the things I told you that you would get wrong.
I was so wrong about Illinois. Yep.
And Florida.
Yeah.
And Michigan.
Hey.
I remember that.
Jury's still out on Michigan. Jury's still out on Michigan. We'll see.
Damn it, Florida. Craziness. Napier, where's he going? Let's say that. Let's go there now, okay?
He's your favorite coach.
I love the guy. I love the guy.
Napier would be terrific at Virginia Tech, NC State. Napier, he was a good coach that was building at Louisiana. He took the wrong job.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him go to USF when I think Golish gets a job and goes elsewhere. He stay in state, go to USF.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that how his tenure went at Florida, and I understand the expectations and the fact that he was not able to provide success consistently. But like to your point, Will, I mean, when he was at Louisiana, I mean, he had those guys perennially dominating, and maybe he needs to go to a school, Sun Belt, Conference USA, something like that, and keep building back. But I hate that how his name now is kind of synonymous with the struggling and what happened at Florida as opposed to what kind of a good coach he is. Because you ask those SEC people, not you, Will, but most of them, they're just like, Sun Belt Billy, this guy's garbage, this guy's blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, he's really not. But I get it with what happened.
I think the common fan, yes, they say that type of stuff. But I think, you get, I mean, I'm not an educated fan, but a semi-educated fan, like the people that we are in our group as a whole, some of you all much more than me. I think most people realize that Brian Kelly is a really good football coach. I realize that Billy Napier is a really good football coach. we
These
realized
guys didn't get fired because they're not good football coaches.
Yeah, they're at programs that have, whether you believe they should be or not, expectations that are just out of this world. And my issue with my thoughts on Napier getting fired from Florida had nothing to do whether I think Napier's a good football coach or not. It has to do with me knowing what I know, the perception of what Florida thinks they should be doing. And there's not a long runway. They want to win, and they want to win now. And LSU, they want to win, and they want to win now. And that's the scariest thing about this whole conversation we're having today. Everybody's firing these coaches, which is grand. But sometimes you fire coaches and you find out that you shouldn't have fired that coach.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to admit that, but
there's going to be plenty of teams this offseason that find that out.
I respect what Penn State did because they are trying to get to the next level, but I'll keep saying it. Don't forget about when Nebraska fired Frank Solich, because that program went into an abysmal place that they are still trying to climb out of now, and that's a very proud program with a ton of history. So be careful what you wish for.
Well, I think it goes back to the question that before any of this, before the Franklin fired, before a number of these guys got fired, and all of us, the question that seemed to keep resurfacing was, if you fire this guy, who are you going to get that's on that level or higher? You know what I mean? Like,
I could not have fired Franklin. I would have done what Will said, which is Dabo and Beamer. Brian Kelly, 2015, he had a season that was fireable by any measure. And what did the AD said? The AD said, you can keep coaching this football team, but your staff is being upended, and we are changing how you hire your staff. Then all of a sudden, Mike Elko and Clark Lee get added to the staff. And all of a sudden, there's a quick resurgence that saves Brian Kelly's career. Like, he didn't become a bad football coach, but sometimes you just need to shake things up from where they're at. And I could not have pulled the trigger on firing Franklin with the success he's had, but I could have done exactly what Will said and said, hey man, you're getting a new OC and a new DC, and we're gonna start from there.
I think they did that though.
They didn't. They didn't. They went with Urich, who they struggled with last year. I mean, they got a new DC, but not because they wanted a new DC. They got a new DC because Tom Allen left.
He left for Clemson, and then it was, oh shit, we need somebody. Let's go. And then Jim Knowles was pushed out of Ohio State, so then took the Penn State job. Like,
so, but the offense at Penn State has been the problem, and he's
on Koto Nick. He's not a fit. He's not a fit there.
So it's, but I respect what they did. I couldn't have done it myself with the success he's had, the recruiting success.
Like, well, he was in the Final Four teams last year. Like,
and they weren't far from beating us. I mean, it was
that was a really good game.
So,
and look, real quick, speaking of a team that's been fairly high, I know in the Final Four a couple of years ago, and in the playoff last year, Sark at Texas. One of the things that we know is that a lot of times with, like you're saying, they'll fire your staff as opposed to firing you. And Sark is the play caller. And they asked him a couple weeks ago, hey, would you consider giving up play calling duties? And he said, this is what got me here. Texas is another one that is used to, national championships in their entirety of their history. Maybe not so much recently, but we'll talk to you, Eric. What do you think?
I mean, go back and look at their history. That blue blood status is not blue blood status, but we can have that conversation for another day. But they have the same expectations to your point overall that the LSUs, the Floridas of the world have, and it is interesting how these NFL jobs are all of a sudden talking about him, which, that's just smoke that his agent is putting out there. But it's kind of like we were talking about with, to get the extension, or, I'm seeing if there is a parachute for me to get out of here before I get kicked out of here. Because let's be frank, he has not lived up to the expectations that were set, whether they were fair or unfair, at Texas.
Fair. At the same time, though, I think, is there really going to be anyone else that gets you to 2 Final Fours back to back, and then like conference championship game in the first year in the SEC? And like, I think he's built up enough recent success to get himself. Like, I don't think he's fired this year.
No,
the seat would be warm heading into next year, I think.
Yeah,
but at the same time, 100%. You lost almost the entirety of the offensive line. You lost your top your top healthy running back from last year, multiple receivers. Like, there was so much loss there that I think just that this was the retool. We should have seen it as the retool year, not there was so much hype. That was the majority of people had for Arch, where it was just like, essentially he's Superman, he's going to deal with it. But there's so much change from last year's Texas team to this year that the expectations were unrealistic.
But we go back to kind of the way Sean kind of laid it out for us. I said Penn State realistically should think about contending once every 4 years. Texas doesn't look at it that way. Texas looks at it as we contend every year.
Right.
But there is no down year. We reload. The same way Ohio State looks at it. The same way that Michigan wants to look at it. The same way that Notre Dame wants to look at it. Like, so there's a different reality there, and I just watched them fire James Franklin for not doing it. So what am I doing to make sure that my program is in the running? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying
no.
It's very real that if it goes downhill further, that he could be out.
Yeah, like there's a possibility that, say, they lose out or whatever, that he's toast. But at the same time, like where Anthony says no run game, it's because they don't have an offensive line. That was the one place they haven't been able to retool from last year.
Yep.
But whose job is it to make sure they have an offensive
You're 100% right. So
I agree with you completely. Like I don't know that it should be a conversation, but I think it is a conversation.
It is a conversation, yeah. It's not warranted, but it is a conversation.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, a lot of these shouldn't technically have been conversations, but it's kind of like I think about last year. At the end of last year, I asked this question before Penn State got into the playoff. I said, should we be concerned about James Franklin? Now, after the Michigan loss for Ohio State, I also asked the same question about Ryan Day. And both of their fan bases, came at me about it. But in this day and age where we're at right now, seeing that all these coaches have been fired, I mean, it's hard not to ask that question. Especially if you're not,
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I live in the heart of Ohio, Sean. Like, Ryan Day's seat was hot.
Oh, they were calling for his head. It was loud.
People from the outside may not have realized it, but it was very hot. If they did not go on that, I don't know that he may not have gotten fired, but he would have been highly encouraged to pursue other opportunities.
The amount of Ohio State fans I saw last season, right before the playoff there, being like, can we lose to Tennessee so we can fire Ryan Day? They were like, let's get out of the playoffs so we can can him. It was that bad.
However we can do it. So you were right when you were saying that stuff, Sean. It's like, it's such an interesting sport, because I feel like in the NFL, for the most part, we can say, here's what success is.
Right.
Like, here's how we know that you can keep your job if you meet these measurables. And college football,
it's generally the same for everybody.
And college football is just completely different animal where resources are different. Like expectations are completely different. Realistic, unrealistic. Schedules aren't fair. Like it's
figure it
wild.
out. Like, yeah.
It's absolutely wild.
Now, I mean, the Penn State one with James Franklin, he's a great coach, but there was the long-standing narrative of versus top 10 teams, where it was year after year after year after year. Anytime there was a number between 1 and 10 in front of that other team's name, they crumbled.
And I get
a lot of the time it happened to be Michigan and Ohio State, but
Sean set it up perfectly. Like I cannot think of a name that they are going to get that I think I'm going to think of more highly than James Franklin.
Oh, no.
And I hate James Franklin, just for the record. Like, yeah. Like I am not a fan of the guy at all. I don't think he's a great football coach. I think he's a very good football coach. Yeah. But as I try and like muster up who are they going to get, like I can't think of a name that's more powerful in the sport that they're going to land.
No, he's in that probably 8 to like 15, 16 range as far as coaches go in college football. He's very, very good coach. But it's one of those things where,
I mean, unless Urban Meyer is coming to Penn State,
that was the thing. I was just like, if you can, and
that's the only like upgrade.
Not trying to like start talks or anything, but apparently he was in central Pennsylvania this past weekend.
Dude,
for some sort of
I hate these rumors so much. Like Marcus Freeman,
I literally did that reaction.
Yeah. No, I know you were doing it on purpose. But like it's like Marcus Freeman went into a Buc-ee's, so now he is the favorite for the Texas job. Like it's just it's
ridiculous.
These people who just throw anything at the wall for
on the one I saw of oh my god, Urban Meyer's in central Pennsylvania, and it was like, and he's wearing like a navy blue sweater. Oh my god, like
yeah. It's
people just want something to talk about.
Yeah, it was just like some people have nothing better to do with their time than like stalk these guys to be like, where are they? What are they doing? What are they wearing? Like it's insane.
Yeah. Well, tell me. I know we've tried to close like 5 times. I'm very sorry, Sean, but I have to ask. I have to ask a difficult question here. Sharon Moore is getting a lot of heat. What? I'm not making a point, anything like that. But like, he's getting a lot of heat. I don't know if he's getting it internally, but externally.
A lot of heat and pressure.
Well, I'll say certain fans that we know that 100% bleed maize and blue, and tell them anything that's wrong with maize and blue, they're not going to believe you. They told me the other day that if he doesn't bring them a championship in the next couple, he's the next one out. So if somebody that loyal, then
I'm not thinking next couple at the moment. Like I'm worried about how this season finishes for him.
I was going to say, like, I mean, I put it in the group chat after the USC game where I was like, I don't know if you pull the trigger right now, but I'm questioning, is Sharon the right guy? Part of me is thinking Jim pulled a fast one saying, oh yeah, here, Sharon's your guy. Let me take Jesse Minter with me to the NFL. Like, Minter was right there. That was who I wanted, was Minter. I wanted Minter to take over in the worst way. And I've said multiple times that I don't know if Sharon's the guy, but at the same time, he's
your guy
undefeated. Yeah. Well, and undefeated against Michigan State, undefeated against Ohio State, undefeated against Alabama. There's 3 big trademark or 3 big spots as a Michigan coach that Michigan State, Ohio State, and those top tier teams from other conferences, and he's checking all those boxes. So as frustrating as he can be, you can't pull the trigger, and he's recruiting at an insanely good rate right now. Like number one quarterback this past year. We got the number one running back coming in, multiple 5-stars this year, which Jim didn't do.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so
this is a consideration you have to take, because these days you can't hire a coach and him recover the class. When you fire a guy now, that class is gone.
Toast.
On the way out.
Now, the one thing I will say with Michigan, I'm hearing lots of talks of this being the last year for Wink Martindale. Whether it's him going back pro or he's getting up there, so maybe he's walking away. But I'm hearing a lot of talks of Wink walking out the door, but they have the replacement in-house already. It sounds like they're going to go with Lamar Woodley, who's currently our linebackers coach. And he's been in the building for years. So
great linebacker.
Yeah, about to say, the old Steelers linebacker?
Yep.
Yeah.
And played at Michigan. Another one of those guys that just he's kind of building for his chance. So it sounds like this might be the last run here for Wink, and then Lamar takes over.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and look, I've talked to you about this many a times before Harbaugh got his title. You talk about, struggling with Michigan State, or the one time, and struggling with Ohio State. Even before the year before his championship run, they were calling for his job, saying, hey, if we don't get it done now, get him out. And then obviously he won that. We saw the similar thing with Ryan Day. I mean, when you have schools like that are used to success, that are used to having this great past and great coaches and things like that, winning is a prerequisite. Like you have to win, and then it's all about winning regular season easy, but getting to the championship, and it's talk about winning those games. That's huge for Michigan.
But some of the differences there is that Ryan Day, like even being on the hot seat, he was winning at an unprecedented clip.
Yeah.
So, and hearing from Alex, it's like, all right, I'm kind of balancing, because he is doing these things that are super impressive, but also, why the fuck are we stubbing our toe? So it's fascinating.
Well, and we talked earlier, just to kind of tie it back to previous conversations, we talked earlier about the boosters shelling out the money to get these coaches. There's been multiple times this season where Mr. Portnoy has been like, I'll write the check. Like, let's get him out. Wow. And he's publicly said that. So there's definite pressure from the outside and from one booster. I don't know about the rest, but
and that's a pretty big booster in terms of cultural.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big help in getting the quarterback. So it's an interesting one to watch. I don't see Sharon getting fired this year or next year, for that matter. I think what he's done recruiting, and this team's really young right now. I do think it's that 3-year window, like this year, next year, and the year after. I think you got to make playoffs minimum 2 of those years. I really think that's the starting point, and be in the running for a championship again.
I think, and this is the outsider.
Yeah.
I think you need to not get your doors blown off by OSU this year.
Yep.
And I think if you do, he starts on the hot seat at the beginning of next season.
I agree with that. If it's a blowout, like back to pre-2020s Michigan Ohio State games, I think that seat is insanely hot going into the season next year. And then remember, he misses game 1 next year. So,
oh wow, yeah.
Who do you play?
Western Michigan.
Oh yeah, another one of those.
Now I think it's one of those European games, I believe. I think it's Ireland, or there was talks of Germany. So
that'll be interesting. I'm rooting for the guy though. I mean, he seems like a good dude, and he's doing good things up there. I mean, I hope he gets fired, like as a coach, because you're Michigan. But I'm rooting for him as a person. So I'm just not sure what to do here.
Exactly how I am with Marcus Freeman. I'm just like, love everything about him, except former Ohio State alum and coaching Notre Dame. Like everything else is like great dude, love the guy. Those two things get him out.
Like contradiction. Yeah. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Jim Jones said they're going to give Sark some time only because they're new to the SEC. We shall see. And he said, damn, that's wicked lose to fire a coach. I mean, look.
Oh, when they were talking about Ryan Day like that, yeah.
Yeah. Boosters want what boosters want. We've all seen 30-30 pony excess, and that's when things were back behind closed doors. Now it's all out in the open, and these boosters aren't shy. You know, they want a winner, period.
Hey, Alex has a booster that's got enough money that if he wanted to, he could pay for a presidential pardon for Jim Harbaugh. And Jim Harbaugh come back and coach Michigan.
Yep.
Good.
Like top 3 richest men in the world.
Craziness.
That 10-year ban could be gone in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just got to put
buying
money
a title.
There was also
towards the right campaign.
There was enough people talking about it that it made a fair bit of noise when this team in the NFL started to struggle, being like, could he be the next coach at Michigan? And it was John Harbaugh. Could the Ravens fire John and he be the next head coach at Michigan? And she's like, we're just going to take all the freaking Harbaughs now, aren't we?
We do. Right. Stay in the family.
That would be hilarious, though.
Oh, it would be so funny because Dad coached there, then Jim, then John. Like,
wow.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. I will officially shut up now.
No, I mean, hey, coaching carousel. This has been the show, and you know what? It's kind of funny because we didn't expect to be here, at least not this deep in these firings and talking about these coaches and everything. But the fact that it took up this much, the entire show, 90 minutes of show, lets you know this. I mean, this is where we're at right now. We've talked about the NIL, we talked about the boosters and the namings like this, and transfer portal and all that stuff. But these coaches getting fired left and right. A year or two ago, we talked about, coaches are ready to jump ship and go elsewhere for the next job. Now, coaches, if you're not winning, you're not grinning.
They're clinging. They're clinging onto the side of the rails.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping that we get Bill O'Brien fired this weekend. Go Irish. Bang bang. I got nothing against Bill O'Brien, but we need some style points.
Yeah, get it done. Colin said, "What happens to the Horns running the SEC?" I mean, weren't they in the SEC championship last year?
In year 1,
yeah. So I think they're okay, and they made the playoff in their first year. Yeah, I think they're all right because they couldn't. Just because they didn't beat you guys doesn't mean they were. It was a terrible season for them. So I think they're all right.
Reigning SEC champions.
Hey,
yep.
You got them.
Yep.
You got them. With Stetson Bennett 2.0. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head out of here. Look, this is not the end of the coaching carousel. We already know there's going to be a number of moves. Yeah, number of moves,
Grim Reaper left to go do his work.
Yeah, all right.
To go do his work.
He had to exit stage right because there was another guy that's on his way out. So be looking for that this week, and you'll see who.
If you're a coach and you hear your door knock, do not answer.
Don't answer.
Will
That's Will. We know he's going to be for Halloween. The Grim Reaper. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to head out of here. For my guy, Mr. Alex Loosemore, you see that guy down there, EK Holiday. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. We appreciate all you guys in the comments. Colin, Jim, Nathan, Anthony, Ben, etc. We love that you guys join us and stick with us talking about these daggone coaches. And we'll send the care package to you, Jim. We know you're going through after you lost your coach. And actually, matter of fact, you might be happy now that he's out of here. Because
I was gonna say, if I'm him, I'm hoping Lane Kiffin. I like the idea of Joe Brady. If you don't get Lane Kiffin, but I don't see how Kiffin doesn't take that job.
I wanted to get the dude from the Water Boy.
Water Boy.
You know the coach I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's Ed Orgeron, isn't it?
Yeah, Ed Orgeron reunion.
Ed Orgeron, Joe Dirt combined.
Yeah. Right.
If we're tossing all these names out here, a certain Nick Saban said his one regret was leaving LSU.
Nah.
No, it's not going to happen.
That man would lose all credit built up in Tuscaloosa. Statue torn down tomorrow.
Miss Terry said she hasn't heard a number high enough yet. So
there it is.
Terry, well, you know what? Runs that. He might be tired of sitting next to Pat McAfee. He might be ready to go back.
Yeah. Michigan State reunion. There we go.
Oh my goodness! I know some fans that would be. Actually, no, I know some fans that are still pissed at him because his time at Michigan State. I was like, but he was the GOAT. He's like, wasn't the GOAT then. He sucked for us. I was like, oh, damn. That's how we're doing? Okay.
Okay.
Right. Back it off. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time. Definitely good talking to you. Peace.
College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Bruce.